Okay, so for this week, we learned about the flipped classroom, and this is my presentation by Camille Davy. So the flipped classroom, the definition. So basically, it's a new method which employs asynchronous video lectures, problems as homework, and active group-based problem-solving activities inside the classroom. So if you look over to the photo on the right, we have traditional on the left, flipped on the right. Traditional is basically lecture in the classroom, go back home, do homework, and do activities. The flipped would be lecture online at home on the computer through a teacher teaching and classroom activities working together after already listening to the lecture in the classroom. So basically, it represents a unique combination of learning theories that are active problem activities that derive from direct instruction methods founded upon behavioralist principles. So basically, the definition that we learned about in our reading, it was inverting the classroom means that events that have traditionally taken place inside the classroom now take place outside the classroom and vice versa. Basically, there's a group-based interactive learning activities inside the classroom, which can also be very helpful, and an expansion of the curriculum rather than mere rearrangement of activities. So what do students supposedly prefer? It says that they prefer in-person lectures to video lectures, but prefer interactive classroom activities over lectures altogether. So anecdotal evidence suggests that students' learning is improved for the flip compared to the traditional classroom based on the study. So we also have movements and learning styles. So there's the technological movement. It started with printing press, and to where we are now with computers and projectors, lectures being able to come through participatory cultures. Then we go to the ideological movement, which is an example of that is how MIT took a significant step forward when it announced its Open Courseware initiative in 2001. So this opened a lot of information that had previously only been available to students who paid university tuition. And I also put down the Khan Academy because there's the main goal of that is to provide a free world-class education to anyone, anywhere. That all has to do with how the internet and technologically advanced we are and how it can be open to others. So there's also 3 learning styles. We have peer-assisted, collaborative, which is also active, and cooperative. So peer-assisted happens to be 5 goals of problem-based learning. So these include helping students develop flexible knowledge, effective problem-solving skills, self-directed learning skills, effective collaboration skills, and intrinsic motivation. Then we have collaborative, which is any instructional method that engages students in the learning process. And Prince said that active, always active and usually, but not necessarily collaborative or cooperative. And last is cooperative learning. So there's 3 key parts. 1, students work in teams toward the attainment of some subordinate goal. Also, labor is divided in between team members so that each individual takes responsibility for a different sub-goal. And lastly, individual contributions are pooled into a product to ensure that the goal is reached. So next we have the reflection. My look on the flipped classroom is I think that can be very helpful depending on how it is used. Also, what type of children, students are in the classroom. Everybody learns differently, and that's why I put down pros and cons. So I think that this week it was cool to learn about the flipped classroom and how there's certain pros to how some people like to learn online. Some people would rather not rather learn in the classroom because they can't focus online. But some people would rather work collaboratively in the classroom rather than be sitting there with a lecture and just listening to a teacher the whole time. So as a teacher, I would just do it depending on what my students want and how they learn best. And in my personal experience, I've also kind of not been the best at listening in-person lectures and rather learn online, and I could also always go back to it. You know, it's always there to look back to. So I feel like that would be really helpful for students learning.